Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. If you couldn't tell already by the thumbnail and the title, today I am making a surf shop. This is the second build I've done in this town, and I love this one so much. It really makes me excited to see how this town goes and looks as we get further along, but I really love how this build turned out in the end. And I wasn't really too sure about all of the bright colors that I did, but honestly I think it just made it look so summery, so I hope you like it as much as I do. I went for a kind of corally pink color on the outside, which honestly, like I said, I wasn't too sure if I was going to like it or not, but I think it kind of works, especially with how the sun looks on the build. I feel like the parts where the sun does not hit the build look a little bit weird, like it kind of looks like a highlighter color, but from the front where the sun hits it, I think it looks really great. I think with the last build on this plot, I wasn't really sure if I was going to love this plot because I just didn't really love the build that much, but I feel like this one also being on the plot right next to it really makes that one look better, and I think they just look so nice together, especially because they're both different colors but still very bright. So I think that the whole town is going to look really great when it's full, but this build did make me so excited for this town, and I'm just so excited to be building. It really did make me like remember how much I enjoy building in Bloxburg, and I had so much fun making this build. Also, if any of you guys have any recommendations for what builds I should do next, I'm kind of stumped for ideas. I built the surf shop, which I was really excited to make because I feel like it's just like such like an obviously summery kind of build idea, but I'm not sure what else. I'm thinking maybe like obviously an ice cream stand, maybe like a smoothie shop or a garden flower store or something, but other than that, I don't really have too many ideas, so if anybody else has good ideas, please let me know. I tried to use quite a lot of decals in this build just because like I wanted to use decals obviously for the surfboards because there aren't any surfboards in Bloxburg right now, and I didn't really want to make them with basic shapes because I didn't want it to be like chunky. Like I like how decals are pretty like thin and you can put a lot of them in a small space, and also they're way cheaper than basic shapes, and I really feel like it helped with the realism of this build a lot to use more decals, so I definitely need to start like kind of doing that with using more decals in my builds. This build reminded me a lot of how I used to play Bloxburg for some reason, not because this build was similar to anything I used to make when I played Bloxburg. It's actually the opposite. I used to be like terrible at building, and I would never make any finished builds because I could never save up enough money. I think the most money I had ever saved up was like 50,000, so I've definitely had a lot more like time, and a lot of the ways I've played this game have changed. But I used to be the person who would like have a unfinished roof and no roof on my house, and it would be raining, and I would have like half of the walls uncolored, and I would have all of the cheapest items. Like I would have the cheapest TV and everything in my house. My house was always so sad. I also used to love trying to like build houses for other people, and I always wanted to like build on other people's plots because I could never save enough money for myself, so I liked when other people already had money so I could just spend their money and build something. So I would ask to build on other people's plots a lot, but no one would ever say yes because they would ask to see my house first to see if I was good at building, and I wasn't, so they would all make fun of me and call my house ugly, and wouldn't let me build on their plots because my plot was so ugly. But it was because I was broke and I couldn't afford to build anything good. I remember like when I first started playing Bloxburg, I would always use the ugliest patterns, like not just texture patterns, but like the like rainbow patterns, or like that one elephant pattern, or the like palm leaf pattern, which they don't sound ugly, but when you see them in the game, they just look so ugly. Like the cherry blossom leaf pattern on the back of my wall, I would have a different pattern on every single wall of my house. I would have like rainbow rooms, and I would use so many like paintings and put the ugliest decals on my paintings, and I would never have a roof, and I would only have a floor in like some rooms where other people were gonna be in them, and then I would like have my own room and it wouldn't have a floor or like a bed or anything. I tried so hard to find screenshots of my old builds on my computer, but honestly, I like wiped those builds out of existence. I deleted all of my old plots, like everything that I built is gone, but they're so like engraved into my brain. I literally feel like I have a screenshot like in the front of my brain. I can literally like envision what my house looked like. Specifically like my worst house I ever made. It was one story, never had a roof, had flooring in some places, and it had a rainbow kitchen with the elephant wallpaper, the ugly like rainbow confetti, and then it had like one room, didn't have a roof. It had like a bunk bed and Winnie the Pooh paintings all over it. And I remember it like so vividly. I wish I had a screenshot of it to show you guys because it is so funny and it looks so bad. But at least now, if anyone ever tries to tell me that my builds are ugly, just know that it could have been worse. We could have had confetti wallpaper, not enough money to finish the build. At least I have enough money to finish my builds now. They might not be the best, but they're not the worst I've ever made, I promise. I have so many memories of when I used to play Bloxburg. I don't really think I played Bloxburg that much, but I have so many like specific moments I remember of Bloxburg. I used to play it with my friend all of the time, and I have like we did so many random things together, and we would always mess with people. We would like go to cafes. We would just kind of be like annoying to people, but it was so funny. I miss when a lot of people used to play Bloxburg. I feel like all of the public servers in Bloxburg are just full of people building now, which makes me kind of sad because I really miss when people would like talk to each other in the chat and everything, but obviously with the new like Roblox updates, it's kind of harder to talk to people now anyways. So it's kind of sad that it's kind of never going to be the same as it used to be. I used to also try and like run a bunch of cafes in Bloxburg where like I would invite people to my plot and spam in the chat asking people to come, and the last time I ever did a Bloxburg cafe was when I was running like a smoothie cafe and somebody came to my plot and asked to work there, and I said yeah, and I gave her permissions to my plot, which if you don't know, like basically Bloxburg has different tiers of permissions where they get different access to your stuff, and I gave her roommate permission, which meant she had access to all of my stored items in my fridge. And Bloxburg basically has like limited time food that only comes out during like different times of the year, like pumpkin spice lattes only come out during fall and whatever. So she stole all of my limited food out of my fridge and literally ran away with all of it before I could stop her. And that I think that's the last time I ever ran a cafe in Bloxburg, because that literally like made me so upset. I remember being so mad that she stole all my food, and now like I don't even care. I don't really notice any of the food in my fridge, and I don't really care about the food. But there is like a whole community of people in Bloxburg who will steal food from other people's fridges for no reason. I've seen people on TikTok who have like plots full of stolen food, and it's so ridiculous. I also had another cafe that I ran with my friend. We called it the Mushroom Cafe because it was like decorated to look like a mushroom, and I had like a bunch of mushrooms outside of it. So it's kind of like a fairy cafe, and nobody was ever like following our cafe rules. Nobody paid for any of our food. Everyone always stole from us. It was kind of a mess. And we ran that cafe for so long. I don't really know why we put up with everyone stealing from us for so long, but unfortunately I deleted that plot, and I wish I didn't because I would love to go back and see what it looks like compared to what my builds look like now. But anyways, that is all the time we have for today's video, so I hope you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!